That update, Kelly. Here now, Andrij Dobriansky, Director of Communications and Media for the Ukrainian Congress Committee of America. Welcome, as always. I want to share what Trump said this week about Zelensky's White House visit, and then we'll chat.
Ukraine, can you talk a little bit about what type of security guarantees you're willing to make?
Well, I'm not going to make security guarantees beyond very much. We're going to have Europe do that because it's in, we're talking about Europe as the next door neighbor. But we're going to make sure everything goes well. And as you know, we'll be we'll be really partnering with Ukraine in terms of rare earth. We very much need rare earth. They have great rare earth. The deal we're making gets us, it brings us great wealth. We get back the money that we spent.
Andrij, the U.S.-Ukraine minerals deal, is it good for Ukraine if the White House does not offer a security guarantee?
Well, the deal that we have on the table now is a deal to work further into figuring out how to make the investments to get the rare earth minerals. And of course, not just rare earth minerals, because the agreement doesn't exactly specify what exactly the type of natural resources that will be taken out. But I think the critical thing here are the security guarantees that are inherent in the United States and Ukraine having a joint partnership, joint ownership, depending on the amount of investment that both sides put in. And also, you have to realize that this stuff doesn't just get airlifted out of Ukraine. There have to be a secure skies. That's a benefit for Ukraine. There also have to be secured, because the best way to ship this out, secure coastline. And that's something that Russia's been working very hard to eliminate all of Ukraine's coastline. This, by default, makes that an impossibility for Russia. And that's why it was critical for Zelensky's team to get an agreement in place before any kind of proposed agreement with Russia.
Let's talk about these two meetings one at a time. First, you've got the British Prime Minister talking about European partnership with not just the U.S., but also with Ukraine moving forward. What are your expectations going into the meeting with the Prime Minister today?
Well, it'll all be judged on basis of how strong President Macron's visit was last week. So both of those visits, both this one and the last one, will be judged against each other, see who is a more forceful European leader. We know that Macron has the prior relationship with Trump. We know that he's comfortable with correcting him, grabbing his hand and saying, no, that's not the case. It is up to Keir Starmer to demonstrate to the world exactly how strong he portends to be, because this is really the future of the transatlantic alliance. We've heard from the prospective new chancellor of Germany that he plans on a vision of Europe without the United States, and he advises other countries to plan in that way. Does that happen for Europe? We'll see. For the UK, we'll see after Keir Starmer's speech.
And then tomorrow we have the important meeting between Ukraine's president and President Trump. And since their last meeting, Trump has called Zelensky the aggressor in the war, the dictator. How do you expect this face-to-face to go? And how will Zelensky prepare for the importance of this meeting?
I think, let's go back to Macron. President Trump likes to be up in the middle of the night tweeting things. He likes to have press conferences without anybody else in attendance where he gets to dictate his strong personality. But we didn't really see that when Macron was standing next to him, and we don't really see that with other world leaders standing next to him. So President Zelensky has survived multiple assassination attempts, including a potential entry into his presidential compound that's so well fortified. This is a man who's been under a threat of war on an everyday basis and has lived up to every verbal threat that has been lobbed at him. I think what the United States realized, President Trump's team, is that they're coming against a team that is prepared. And that's what they realized in their negotiations, because this is definitely not the paper that was drafted by the United States. This was a negotiated settlement between two parties that really do want to work together. And the more President Trump wants to put, outlandish words on it, I think it all depends on what the final guarantee is.
And are you optimistic that the end is in sight for peace?
I don't say peace as the administration does. I say an end to the conflict means and not snatching defeat from the grasp of victory. We know Russia is struggling. We know that they have slowed down so much from the last couple of months till today. Their economy is in ruins. All that President Trump needs to do is to increase the shipments to Ukraine, as well as increase the pressure on Russia. And he could actually be the most influential president in history by finally seeing an end to the Russian Empire. the more we can convince President Trump to keep the line for this year and make sure that Russia cracks under the pressure, the less we'll have to see a scene like Helsinki in his first administration, where he was seen to be groveling to Putin as opposed to being the victor.
Right. Justice, I think, is the word that you have used in our prior conversations. Andrij, thank you. I appreciate you as always.
Thank you, Marnie.